So hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to explain to you how you can calculate percentages of your 1 rep max with weighted calisthenics exercises. Let's take a look at what we need to do that. If we just have a regular exercise where our body weight is not included, to calculate percentages of our 1 rep max, what we're doing is basically just having our 1 rep max and we're multiplying it with the percentage value. So if my 1 rep max in the bench press is 100 kg, and I want 80% of that, I can just multiply it and I get 80 kg. If my 1 rep max now of a dip is also 100 kg, 80% of that is not 80 kg because I need to take into account that I'm also moving my body weight with it. So if we want to calculate percentages of our 1 rep max for weighted calisthenics exercises, this is not how it works. So basically it is also very simple, but we need to take into consideration our body weight. So the first thing that we want to calculate is the total weight moved, or basically the total possibly weight moved, which is the 1 RM plus our body weight, because that is the base of the calculation, whereas in exercise where we don't move our body weight, it's just the 1 rep max. So with those both values, we can then multiply that by the percentage, and then we get a value which gives us the percentage of the total weight, and that value we just subtract with our body weight to get the percentage 1 RM value that we want to have. So if we now take a look at that again and put that into one formula, it's basically just 1 rep max plus body weight times the percentage value that we want to have, another brackets around that, minus the body weight again, and then we will have the final value. So let's take a look at what that means for our initial example here, where I assume I am 80 kg in body weight. We are calculating the 1 rep max, which is 100 kg, plus the body weight, it's 180. Then we multiply that by 0.8, so 80%, that's 144 kg. And then we subtract the body weight again of 80 kg. And so in this case here, we're then having a value of 64 kg. So as you can see, huge difference compared to this value. So if you have calculated it like that in the past, then you're probably gonna end up overloading yourself way too fast, way too much, because you need to take into consideration your body weight. That's very important information for you if you don't know your 1 rep max, or you haven't tested it in a while and the value you used is probably not accurate anymore. There are formulas out there that can help you to calculate that 1 rep max value. You then call it an E1RM, so an estimated 1 rep max. And on our website, we have 3 different formulas. So you just type in your values and calculate your estimated 1 rep max, and then try to choose the formula which comes closest to the estimated 1 rep max value that from experience is valid for you. And then you don't need to max out that often, you don't need to test it, and you can always work with pretty accurate estimated 1 rep max values. And For those percentage values, we also have a calculator that you don't really need to think about percentages anymore, because that calculator has those percentages embedded, and you can really just go in and use the reps and the RPE values without needing to think of the percentages. And how that works, I will show you now. Okay, now at the end of the video, let me give you a quick example of how the calculator works. So we're now on kingofweighted.com, and you just see here on top the calculator. So what you can now see is at first the 1 rep max calculator containing 3 different formulas. Apley, I don't know how to pronounce this, and Lander, and these are 3 different guys that develop 3 different formulas for powerlifting, and I slightly adapted those formulas, put the body weight in so it works better for calisthenics. So what you need to do now is, you had a set in your training. Let's say you did 3 repetitions with 2 reps in the tank, or RPE 8. What you're going to do then is you type in here a 5, because you had 3 reps plus 2 repetitions in reserve equals 5. So you always want to do the full amount of reps that you've put in here. Very, very important, because if you leave out the reps that you had in the tank, the estimated 1 rep max will not be accurate. Then you're going in with the weight that you moved on that day. So let's say 100 kg. And if it's a dip, a pull-up, or a muscle-up, you're going to add the body weight here. So in my case, there will be 80 kg. So now you take a look at the formulas, and you will take a look at what's the most accurate for you. Let's say, okay, yeah, 130 is something reasonable from my experience, or you rather go on the lower end of 122.5. So in our example, let's just take the 130. Then we can go to the RPE table. And here it's explained again on the bottom, but we're going to go through it together. You're now typing in that 1 rep max that you just calculated here, and your body weight, and then you press on calculate table. And now here you get a perfectly designed table giving you estimations for your working weight. So if you are now want to do a set of 5, you just go in the column 5 repetitions. You want to have it on an RPE 8. You go to this value, because then you have 5 repetitions, RPE 8. And that's how you search it. You want to do a single on an RPE of 6. Now it gets a bit more tricky, as we are having the 6.5 here. So what you need to do is you have a single, RPE 7, and then you just decrease by 1 repetition like that. I could also, if I have time, extend the table a bit so we have more RPE values in here, but it's simple as that. So a single on an RPE 6 would be around 101.2 kg, and then of course you round that to reasonable values that you can stack. And the table goes up to 12 repetitions. And be aware that with all those calculations, they are designed for 1 rep maxes. So for more powerlifting, weighted competition, calisthenic style of training. So they work more accurately for lower rep ranges. If you're training more in the higher rep range, then experience values might be more accurate than the calculated ones. Because if you calculate your sets with something like 15, formulas from experience will not give you pretty accurate values. So rather go with something below 5 plus the reps in reserve that you had, max, nothing more. That would be good. And that's how you use the RPE table and the 1 rep max calculator on the King of Weighted page.